How's it going, everybody? Doing a game impressions video here today. Real quick, I noticed a few people told me as well. The eating video, the mic sounded off. I thought it sounded weird when I was filming it. It sounded, when I went back, I should say, because I did my little pre-one that I always do, and it sounded fine. Then I started the actual one, whatever, and then I listened to it after I was done. It sounded like tingy or something, a little like harsh sounding. But I checked the levels, and it was connected and everything. I think sometimes I just need to unplug this thing and plug it back in, and it seems to work fine. I don't know. And how about that Jags comeback? Wow. And that's what I'm talking about with football, man. I said this before for Chargers and their fans. The lows are almost worse than the highs. That low is going to stick with you probably longer than a Super Bowl win would. It's crazy. That was nuts. Anyway, I've been playing this game and I wanted to talk about it because I'm actually really enjoying it quite a bit. It's Until Dawn, PS4. Obviously, this game came out in 2015, so I'm a little behind on the action. I remember watching gameplay videos of this when it came out. The cat is sleeping, kind of purring type noise in the background. Maybe that will add to the vid, but I remember watching videos on this and like, oh man. It's like, oh, I'd love to play that. And then I was able to get around, Years later, like Man of Medan and Little Hope, Quarry, etc., House of Ashes. I still need to get the devil in me, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one they did, right? Supermassive Games and with this format. Obviously, as you know, these games usually play with a group of people. You switch on and off there. This one didn't have it. I think you just play single player. The other ones had like movie mode and you could do co-op online or, couch co-op where each person plays a part type thing. But I've really been enjoying this. Like I said, you choose people, you gotta make choices on what path you want to take. Do you want to take the quick path that's dangerous or the safe path? You can give certain responses as well, and certain people will like you, dislike you, depending on your responses. You have meters of things that go up. Your bravery, maybe it's courage, I don't know. Confidence, stuff like that. I can't remember them now. But your relationships with these person will change depending on answers you've given and stuff. And certain choices you make will play into things too. I think this game has to have different endings as well as all their other ones, but this one has totems, so this is obviously the first one they did with this, but similarly like the tarot cards in the Quarry and some of the stuff like the things you find in the Dark Pictures games gives you a little like premonition type thing, gives you a quick scene of something that could happen if you do a certain thing a certain way. So the totems are the one in this one. This one, the one people's family, person's family, there's 3 of them. There'll be a little bit of spoilers here, but you play in the beginning, it's like a prologue, and you're at the mountain. The one, 2 twins, girls, and the one guy are the family members, and they're all related, obviously, and their family owns like this lodge in the mountains. It's in Canada. I think it might be in the Alberta province. I don't know exactly the town, if it's even said. But I guess they go up there all the time, and hang out with their friends. And in the beginning, they go to play a prank on the one twin, Hannah. I believe it's Hannah. And she gets pissed and she runs out into the snow, into the woods. And her twin sister, Beth, follows her, and then they both die. Like, there was a choice to be made. You end up both dangling off like a cliff. And you can either drop her, because there's a dude up there. He's like got a flamethrower, and he's going to reach for the one sister, could either drop her. And I decided to let go because I'm like, they're twins. I'm like, I don't trust this guy. And I didn't realize they both end up dying. And they die regardless. It's funny because I watched one of the behind the scenes, you unlock like behind the scenes features after I guess beating certain chapters. And they were showing like people playing the game and how they set them up with meters just to see how scared they were getting. And someone held on. Dropped the sister, didn't drop herself and the sister, just dropped the sister. And she still ended up falling anyway, so I'm like, alright then. But anyway, then you go back a year later, the brother, Josh, wants to bring the friends back again, you know, and try to get past it or whatever, and then you're unraveling mysteries like of like the natives that lived there before, and I guess they're pissed because you find clues throughout. There's another guy who escaped from somewhere. There's like a murderer was on the loose. They couldn't find. There's all types of things seemingly going on here. So that's where like the totems come in too, and you're finding clues and stuff like you do. And there's like the twins have their set. 1952 has its set because a bunch of stuff happened then with like a sanatorium. I'm in now. I'm on chapter 5, I think. Each time you get through a chapter, it'll be like 5 hours until dawn, 6 hours until, you know, whatever. Anyway, the story is what it is. It has that, you know, this one started for that, but it's a horror movie type elements in there, paranormal stuff as well, and mystical, spiritual stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, now stuff's happening. This game does the button pressing. That the Quarry kind of just uses the thumbstick a lot. I think there's some button pressing in the Quarry. I can't remember, but it's a lot of just thumbstick in certain directions. The Quarry is a little easier in terms of that because this one's crazy. Like, at first you don't have a lot of button pressing stuff. You're making choices and stuff, but I think it was like chapter 4 maybe. There's a part where I'm chasing like the one, what's her name, Jessica. She gets grabbed. Mike's her boyfriend, and he chases after her, and I'm doing like a lot of quick button pressing, square, trying like a button. I'm like, oh my god. I think that all of a sudden ramped up these kind of quick time events. You know, because the first few chapters you have a few, but you're mostly making choices, walking around and stuff. This game, though, this game does look great. Like, someone was telling me in the comments, I was talking about the Quarry, that this one even looks a little better than the Quarry, and I tend to agree. Not to say the Quarry, it's close. The Quarry is almost on par, but this looks really good. 2015 too. It definitely, I feel, looks better than. I'd say the Quarry as well looks better than the Dark Pictures games. Like I said, not leaps and bounds better, but I will say I think the faces might look a little better in the Quarry. It's weird because some of the faces in this one look a little strange. At first, when I did that prologue, some of the acting was bad. I was like, oh man, some of this acting's bad, but all the acting seems a lot better now, for whatever reason. And this did the same thing as The Quarry, too, where at first the characters were annoying, like super annoying. I was like, these people are awful. And then, same thing as that, you learn to like them, and they some are still a little annoying, but not many of them. And the character building's pretty decent, like especially the guy Mike. Like, oh, this guy's kind of annoying, but then he takes like a full 180. And I think with the choices you make, you can kind of play these characters a specific way, but some of them just have cutscenes where they're like yelling at each other because there's like drama going on between some exes, you know, and ex-girlfriends with this guy now, and everybody's awkward and stuff. There's also like aiming stuff you could do with shooting and stuff, and there's a snowball fight at one point, and that's not overly annoying. It gives you some time to move it into the position, proper position. But man, this game looks great. And I'm gonna say this, out of all the Dark Pictures games that I've played, the only one I have not played any of is The Devil in Me. But between this and The Quarry and the 3 Dark Pictures games that I've played, this one absolutely is the creepiest. Like, this game is legitimately, like, the atmosphere in this game is fantastic. Like I thought The Quarry had some creepy moments, but this one has you, like, on the edge of your seat throughout. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know why. Like, it's just maybe the setting in the snowy mountains. You have the main lodge, and then you, like, you find a sanatorium that's at another part of the mountain. There's like a few others, like another cabin that you end up in off the side. And there's in the mines. I was in the mines for a little bit as well. Like I said, there's a lot of different stories why maybe like the Washingtons, I think, are the Beth Anna and Josh, their family, owns like the stuff on the mountain, not the sanatorium, but the other things. But so it kind of seems like they've pissed off people at some point. But man, the graphics, like I said, are really good, and you like even seeing them when watching it. Like I'm like, man, this looks nice. The lighting, the character models in game, and the animation looks really nice. I would say it looks like a little bit better than the Quarry overall. But man, I really want to talk about it. Like for me, of course, with these kind of any kind of horror game, survival horror, action horror, this kind of, what would this be? I'm trying to think of like the horror. This would be like cinematic horror, maybe, but any kind of horror game. This one has just, I don't know, man. Like it's like literally, like I'm like creeped out. Like all of a sudden I'm walking and I see like a light in the distance. I'm like, oh man, like the atmosphere is so good. Like I'm literally like I'm in the sanatorium now with Mike, and I'm like going down the stairs, and it's just creepy. I'm waiting for stuff to happen. You know, it's a little bit of dread in there. Like it's really nice. Like I haven't gotten anything near that in the other ones. Like I said, the Quarry had some moments, but this one just, it's like almost throughout, you know. And a lot of the main lodge that you're in is not well lit. You know, there's just a lot going on. They do a really good job, and the sound effects are definitely the best in this one out of all of them as well that I've played. The Quarry does it well too. This one and the Quarry do a lot of the stuff well that I think the Dark Pictures games don't. And I enjoy the Dark Pictures games well enough, but they're almost like because those ones are in like their anthology series, right? These ones are kind of standalone ones. I don't know if they put more time into these, but the sound's really good. There's like a lot of like this banging and points and little knocks and nice little music kind of cues and sounds that really adds to the whole ambiance and atmosphere and everything. It's just really, really well done. Like it's legitimately creepy. I mean, some parts it's a little janky in these games because you're walking and it's sometimes like the animation's nice, but sometimes like you do the weird like the person's like, you know, walking because you want to explore stuff. So I think with these games, it's like part of me wants to go over and explore, but there's a character saying, "Hey, what are you doing over here?" But it's like, no, I want to explore, so it becomes gamey, you know, but it doesn't take away much of anything from it. But I just want to talk about this a little bit because it's super creepy. The two main people that I knew are Hayden Panettiere, and I guess he wasn't as popular at the time, and he got big, right? Because that Queen movie where he played Freddie Mercury had to have been after this, right? Yeah. There's no way that came out like what 2020 or something. Rami Malek is in it as well, and they do a good job. And the other people, I've recognized some of them, but I don't know what they're from. But like I said, everybody does well after that prologue. The prologue, the acting, the voice acting was bad. Some of it was bad, and then afterwards, like for whatever reason, maybe they were just getting into it or whatever. But everything else has been fine. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, why would they be? Same thing with the Quarry and the other ones. They're cracking jokes a little too much, you know, with what's going on. But I don't know. If by chance you haven't played it, like I said, I'm very late to the game with this. I always knew I wanted it though because it just looked cool, and that was before the Dark Picture games came out. I was still like, oh man, it's one of the regrets when I didn't have the PS4 and I chose the Xbox One over it. I was like, son of a bitch. Even though I knew this was out because I got the Xbox after this came out, but we were deciding on the two of them. I think at the time they were on sale for like $250 during the Black Friday sale that like extended till the end of the year. So we ended up getting the Xbox One S, right? That's what the smaller one's called. But I had a ton of fun with the Xbox One, but I missed out on. I mean, I'm getting to play them now, but the exclusives were better for the PS4, in my opinion. But man, it's just, I don't know, the atmosphere. Graphically, it looks great. Like I said, the whole setting is awesome, and the story is kind of cool. He's got a couple different things going on there. It's nice. Like, is Josh? What is Josh here? Like, is he still pissed at his friends because his sisters died because they played the prank, and then the one girl ran out, and they kind of take some of the blame. It's really good. I think there's ghost stuff involved too, because we're using a Ouija board at one point. So there's a lot going on in this one. I really like it. If you have not played it yet, check it out. If you're into if you want like a good narrative or choice-driven game that's got great atmosphere, and in my opinion is pretty damn creepy. Check it Until Dawn. Maybe I'll do a full review on it after I beat it. I don't know. But I just wanted to get my impressions on that because I'm super enjoying it, so I just wanted to kind of talk about it. Thanks for checking.